Coming up tonight, unstoppable change. Michael Pintard and his leadership team re-elected to lead the Free National Movement. Our News was there. Plus, Eleuthera in need. The chamber president calling for major improvements to the island as tourism continues to grow. And later, Our News Weekend kicks off the month of June, highlighting the fathers. Tonight, a well-known bishop shares his story of fatherhood. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. F&Ms were buzzing with excitement Saturday night after the votes were counted and Michael Pintard and his leadership team were re-elected to head the party. There were a few vacant chairs as delegates filled the room to hear the speeches that all took the same tone, a unified F&M. Our Berthany McDermott was in the room to capture all the excitement.
A newly elected Michael Pintard greeted a room of supporters in the Grand Ballroom at the Bahamas Convention Center with loud and exciting fanfare Saturday night, hours after a decisive victory. His speech focusing in part on unifying the party divided ahead of the elections.
And so no matter who you voted for during this election cycle, we wish to make it absolutely clear. I wish to make it absolutely clear that we need you. We are stronger with you.
Noticeably absent was Dr. Minnis and his core supporters who left after the results. In his speech, Pintard said this to the former F&M leader.
And so it's clear to us that there were any number of accomplishments that you've achieved that are noteworthy. And with your permission, in the fullness of time, this organization wishes to pay tribute to you for your contribution.
Re-elected party chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands came out with 431 votes against Ellsworth Johnson's 221 votes. Sands telling the convention while the goal is unity, the real mission is to inspire hope.
Our founders chose as the eternal motto of the F&M, all together. So tonight we begin the work of restoring that unity. And I say to F&Ms all over the country, including those who did not vote at the last election, it's time for you to come home. Come home.
East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson used the convention stage to share the message that there is nothing greater than an F&M united.
So I ask every F&M, every real F&M, whether you wore a Minnis shirt or whether you wore a Pintard shirt, are we not fighting for the same thing?
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
We also caught up with other members of the Free National Movement, familiar faces who were happy with the outcome of the closely watched leadership race. Some 760 delegates took part in the process amid claims from the Minnis camp of skullduggery and intimidation tactics. Former Bain and Grantstown MP Travis Robinson was elected deputy chairman. He says this now signifies an F&M back on track. Meanwhile, former party chairman Carl Culmer says the results show the mood of the people.
We have a lot of agendas and plans that we're going to be rolling out over the coming weeks and months ahead to return back to the Bahamian people and regain their trust in an F&M administration under a Pintard-led government.
I call for all F&Ms now to come together as one and help to support the leader so we can move forward and take the country to another level. The only way we can do it is if we work together.
But does this mark a clear, unified road for the F&M? These delegates believe so. Former Senate President Kay Forbes Smith says at the end of it all, F&Ms are aware of who the real enemy is.
Anytime you have a hotly contested internal fight, some people are going to be sad that they didn't win. But at the end of the day, I think every F&M knows exactly who the enemy is and what we need to do. So I think in terms of unifying the party, that will happen, and it starts today.
Again, I say that this is just the beginning, and I simply call this the F&M is back on track for the Bahamian people.
Meantime, Disney's new private cruise port, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, officially opening this week. And the president of Eleuthera's Chamber of Commerce, Thomas Sands, having high praise for the $200 million development. However, Sands mentioned that the island is facing some big infrastructure issues, with tourism numbers steadily growing. He says the lack of utilities as well as their capacity pose a challenge.
Infrastructure is challenged. It is challenged throughout the island of Eleuthera and I guess the rest of the Bahamas. Especially, again, the increased growth rate puts more strain on the system. So we need to find solutions. It is a challenge, again, with growth. I think that we need a forward plan. I think the rate of growth for Eleuthera has been greater than expected. And so I invite us to look and create solutions that are greater than what we planned for in the past. And again, maybe it creates also opportunities. It is challenging to operate a business with water off, electricity off, sometimes telecommunications down.
Sands also emphasizing the need for more economic growth for family islands outside of New Providence and Grand Bahama.
Eleuthera has many challenges as growth takes place, and this happens around the world. Everywhere you get growth and development. And so there are a lot of things that we need to do and plan for as growth takes place. Yes, housing is a challenge. We must find a solution for that. We must incentivize some solutions to resolve these issues. But we need growth and development to take place in the family islands. As I said, Abaco, Eleuthera, Exuma. We need to grow the country outside of Nassau and Grand Bahama. So it is welcome. There are challenges, and challenges create opportunities.
Yesterday marked the official start to the 2024 hurricane season, and global experts are predicting an above-average season. According to Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for disaster risk management, Leon Lundy, this year will rival active years such as 2004, 2005, 2010, and 2017.
Collectively, those years produced many destructive storms. Storms like Francis, Katrina, Wilma, and Irma. Many of us know firsthand the devastation those storms produced. But when compared to what has been predicted this season, those years pale in comparison. And then, in 2019, there was Hurricane Dorian, the ultimate reality check for our country. We learned some hard lessons from Dorian, but we use those insights to strengthen our approach to disaster management.
Lundy is assuring residents that government is ready and has been working tirelessly to strengthen disaster preparedness and response capabilities. He is urging Bahamians to prepare their homes now and not to wait until a storm is imminent.
A large part of that work involved merging NEMA and DRA to form the new Disaster Risk Management Authority. This new authority represents a shift in our approach to disaster management in our country, a shift in which we place more emphasis on preparing for and reducing the impact of disasters on our country and communities, while strengthening our ability to respond and recover from disasters.
When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, Bahamians at the helm, we'll tell you about the Fox Hill native holding a top position within the halls of Virginia State University. That story and so much more when Our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Virginia State University now has a Bahamian woman sitting in an executive position. After almost 20 years in the industry, Fox Hill native and LW Young graduate Dr. Tia Minnis was recently named the provost, a vice president of academic affairs at Virginia State University. She says the fact that it's a historically Black university makes it all the more impactful for her.
A big part of what I do is, and a part of who I am, having gone to Savannah State and the College of the Bahamas, is really investing in us, investing in the Black community. I've always said that education is really being my passion, and that passion, because I know it's essential. It's essential to unlocking the individual potential, to fostering societal progress, and to empowering our future generation of leaders who are going to be positive change for our communities and our societies. And so, but being able to do that at a historically Black college has been a passion for me. So I'm intentional about making certain that I serve at HBCUs.
Dr. Tia Minnis says becoming a provost has been a dream of hers for over 15 years. And now, as she helps the students of Virginia State University, she has also made it her work to give back to the Bahamas. This as she collaborated with the Cable Bahamas group of companies to ensure Bahamian students have the opportunity to attend the tertiary institution.
With Cable Bahamas and Delta Sigma Theta, we're focused on women in STEM. And so we've been offering students scholarships to attend the university. So far, we're going into our second year, and we've awarded 6 scholarships. 3 of them have been a full ride, where the young ladies have received full tuition and fees and room and board, so all expenses covered for them. And the other 3 have been scholarships towards their tuition. And so we're very excited to truly champion women in STEM disciplines, because there is a shortage, and to make certain that I'm giving our young people the opportunity that I had.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, the Bahamas Golf Federation and a local golf club celebrating International Women's Golf Day. Our Danielle Miller was there for the kickoff of events. But first,
we recap a squash tournament and see what happened with the national rugby team in Bermuda. Our Sports Weekend edition is next.
When the Bahamas took center stage at World Expo in Dubai 2022, we were there as thousands got up close and personal with our story, like the unprecedented devastation of Hurricane Dorian put center stage at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda. We were there as the Prime Minister urged immediate action on climate change, an issue brought up months later at the historic 50th CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
welcome back. A squash tournament held here in the capital recently, and we recap the Bahamas national rugby team's match against Bermuda. Tage Adderley is here now with our Sports Weekend.
Thanks, Megan. Good evening. Welcome to the Our Sports Weekend edition. I'm Tage Adderley. Dozens of local squash players participated in a tournament last weekend. Let's meet our winners. The Four Walls Squash Open Championships went down last week at the Four Walls Club on Village Road. Both men and women newcomers and veterans took part in hotly contested action to see who was the best. In the end, champions emerged in 4 divisions. John Hope took the men's Open Division A. Vibert Williams won the Open Division B, Derive Ferguson won Men's Division C, and Kristen Wiley took the Women's Division C. Tournament director Michael Field said he was pleased with the turnout and the competitive spirit was shown at all levels during the event. Now, they have a full week of activities and lessons lined up for mid-June as well. We'll have more on that as it draws near. Now we're headed to Bermuda, where the Bahamas national rugby squad just played their first match in a few years.
The squad fell to Bermuda 35-5 in their first match in Rugby America's Northern Caribbean Cup play. Bermuda got out to an early lead, scoring twice to make the score 14-0, but Durand Beetle would score Team 242's first try to make it 14-5. That would be the Bahamas' only try for the day, as Bermuda would tack on 3 more tries to give the game its final score.
Now, they'll have a chance to pick up a win at the end of this month when they play Jamaica in Grand Bahama. That's a wrap for sports today. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. Everybody have a great week.
Thanks so much, Tage. Women's Golf Day is set to be celebrated this June 4th. And in recognition of women in the sport, 2 local organizations coming together this weekend for a slate of events. Our Danielle Miller tells us more.
This weekend, we chipped, hit, and putted with Flamingo's Women's Golf Club 242 at their inaugural Women's Golf Day International event. The Sports Center Golf Academy, the venue for this weekend's golf event, coordinated in partnership with the Bahamas Women's Golf Association. On Saturday, the women golfers competed for coveted prizes, such as a round of golf at the Ocean Club Resort. Our news there on Friday for the mini golf clinic and social. Some men even hitting the green in support of the event, including Craig Flowers.
I've always been a supporter of the female golf in the Bahamas. So my role, especially with Agatha Delancey, is the leader here. I've served under Agatha for many years when she was president of the Bahamas Golf Federation. So for me, anything that she does to promote golf, she knows that she has my support. As a supporter, certainly I'm going to be here at the lead role giving advice.
Organizers say they hope events such as this bring awareness to women's golf and increase club membership, further creating an environment for networking and, of course, healthy competitive fun.
I used to play for the junior national team, Bahamas junior national team, when I was a teen back in the day, late 80s and 90s. And so it's special to me because now the professionals teaching and some of the people playing, I used to actually compete and play with. So this is very special to me that now we're going to have a women's golf league here, and I wanted to be here for this particular reason.
We have a lot to thank for our sponsors. We have a Shorewind, we have El Greco, we have the gaming board, and we've partnered with so many other contributors like local golf clubs. We have Caribbean Bottling and so many more, and we've had amazing PR from Total Management. So today is really a big deal for us because women golfers are hardly something that you ever see. Every time you see a golfer, it's always the guys. And now you have a community of women that are coming together, and we're making it happen.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Looks like a great time. Thanks, Danielle. On the other side of this break, Our News to the Island series wraps up. We take one more trip to Cricket Island. Plus, for the love of dad, our Joshua Williams shares the story of a family life and fatherhood for a well-known bishop. Stick with us.
When the Bahamas took center stage at World Expo in Dubai 2022, we were there as thousands got up close and personal with our story, like the unprecedented devastation of Hurricane Dorian put center stage at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda. We were there as the Prime Minister urged immediate action on climate change, an issue brought up months later at the historic 50th CARICOM meeting in the Bahamas. Because our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Welcome back. Well, it's time now to wrap up the Our News to the Island series highlighting Cricket Island. Tonight, our Candino Knowles takes us inside a local lodge and a marina, perfect for both adventure and relaxation.
And you can also come just to chill if you like.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be about
I want to chill. I
Just
do
to
want to chill. There is work, but I do want to chill too.
Just to chill, you know.
In our brief visit to Cricket Island, our guide Marsha Gibson made sure we experienced the true essence of island life, introducing us to locals who call this beautiful place home. One such local is Dennis Thompson, the dock master at Cricket Island Lodge and Marina, formerly known as Pittstown Point. The lodge, owned by Cameron McCrae from North Carolina, is a beacon for visitors seeking both adventure and relaxation.
My job is to receive any motor vessel that comes in, make sure that they have what they need when they get here in terms of fuel, ice, water, lunch, whatever they need.
And Dennis takes great pride in his work. During peak season, their 35-slip marina boasts a 90% occupancy rate, attracting avid fishermen from all over, most of them eager to catch the majestic blue marlin.
The fishing ground is 5 minutes from the marina, so they love that because they save a lot on fuel cost, and the fishing is very good because our fish doesn't pressure so much from other fishermen.
Adding to the lodge's appeal is its private airstrip, making arrivals as convenient as possible.
By the time they land and they want to be fishing, that's in half an hour. They land, jump on the boat right to the marina, walk to the marina, and they are on the fishing grounds in less than 20 minutes. We have a saying say that our fish die of old age here.
The marina is relatively new, just 3 years old, with recently opened villas bringing the total room count to 15, staffed by a dedicated team of 15 as well. Yet this stunning property holds a deeper historical significance.
Well, the building behind me, the structure, the raw wall structure is our very first post office in the Bahamas. I think it was built in the 1800s. There's a plaque that's around the corner that states that.
And the owners have taken care to preserve its rich history, constructing the lodge around the original structure. And Dennis says he feels honored to serve guests in such a magnificent setting, seeing it as a tribute to the community's enduring spirit and vibrant culture.
Thanks so much, Candino. We are officially winding the weekend down, which means it's time to plan for the week ahead. Here to assist weather-wise, meteorologist Ian McKinsey.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. We are currently outside our studios. We have a few intermittent clouds, temperature of 84, feels like lovely 76 of those. Breezes out there, east-northeast winds at 10 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the nation at this time. In our nation's second city, Freeport, we have 81 also in Marsh Harbor and in Governor's Harbor, 83 in Great Harbor Key, 84 in the capital as well as Nicholstown, 82 in Arlestown, Bimini. The Central Bahamas, we have 82 again in Camps Bay, 80s in Georgetown and Arthurstown, Kid Island, 77 rain cool temperatures in San Salvador, and 79 in Deadman's Key, Long Island. Continuing in the Southeast Bahamas, we have 81 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, as well as Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, 82 in Matthew Town, a pair of 80s in Delectable Bay and Colonel Hill, 79 in Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana. First look now at our satellite and radar imagery where we have some isolated activity mainly across the Northwest Bahamas courtesy of troughing. Elsewhere we have a broad area of disturbed weather associated with a weak frontal boundary across the Central and Southeast Bahamas. This should continue to impact that area through Monday. Boating forecasts, caution still out there across all areas for tonight. Wind should calm down across the Northwest and Central Islands tomorrow. Winds will be southeast 15 to 20. Falling off, like I said, tomorrow in the Northwest and Central Islands, seas 4 to 6 feet. Low tide 11:43 p.m. High tide at 5:33 a.m. tomorrow morning. Extended forecast, showers continuing on and off Monday through Tuesday. High pressure building across areas should spell good weather through Saturday. We expect a frontal trough in that area again. Increasing rain chances. Highs maintaining moderate 80s, mid 80s. Low temperature hovering around the mid to upper 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
The beginning of June means the start of a month-long celebration of fathers. Here at Our News Weekend, we're highlighting a number of fathers this month. And starting today, we feature a face you've seen many times before in our newscast. But this time, he talks about his greatest ministry, his home. Our Joshua Williams reports.
While the nation calls him bishop, pastor, and leader, Delton Fernandez says there's no title he wears prouder than father. The dad of two says he feels the most pride and joy through the success of his children.
The two children that we have, Dalen and Caleb, are important to us because they are the arrows that God has given my wife Calpurnia and myself to direct. As a father, I believe that my part and my role is to be a strong presence in the home, helping and working together with my wife to guide them into their career choices, into their educational goal.
One of Bishop Fernandez's proudest moments was watching his son graduate.
I tell you, as a male, I cried. I cried because I'm sitting in the same seminary that I went to for graduation, and the president is asking all alumni to stand, and I'm standing. Not only is he my son, not only is he graduating from my college, but he's representing some of the same organizations.
Not only does Fernandez serve as pastor, but also as president of the Bahamas Christian Council, and most recently voted as president of the National Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention. He says balancing time between his career and family can be difficult. However, it's never a tough choice.
I made a decision that anything relating to my family and it's put on the calendar overrides anything else.
And I know that sounds, with all that I do and all that I am, it could be something that is important. I need permission to remove it. In other words, I'll call a family meeting and say, listen, family, this has come up, or X, Y, Z. And they might say, hey, well, we move it to this date or this time. But it isn't a fact that I'm removing my time with my family off of my calendar. It takes preeminence. All of my staff know, all of my officers know that I am unavailable.
As he looks forward to this Father's Day, he shares how he would want his family to remember him for the day he's no longer with them.
I wanted to remember that I was passionate about the things of God, and I really was trying to make the Bahamas a better place, not only for them, but for the wider community. And when I'm going on to be with the world, I hope they say there's someone who did the best he could and gave the best of his service.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Joshua, and thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening.